Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live with this week's market wrap up. And as much as you get to hear all the chatter of new highs every day, as far as trading is concerned, it's like, yeah, new highs by a couple pennies every single day. And just so the creeper rally continues. And really, we want to get some volatility. And just look how bad this is. In spite of a big bad team, and look at these ranges as far as trying to trade any futures are concerned. Just look at that. Small capper is even worse. Look at this. And so if you look at XLE, look at this. Just doing nothing. So, if we had anything today, we'd have the transports. And the trannies did the old gap and reverser, and it's not even that big of a move, but it did give you some stuff like Union Pack. Nice little gap and crapper, bearish engulfing day. And so when you get stuff like that, we can look for this gap come down here. Inside 60 is the rest, and then bang, knock that down like that. So in this environment, I tweet out at Rob in the Black the gap list every morning, and that's really where we want to be. We want things that are moving around. One of the things I tweeted out this morning when after was nice was once. Nice gap and reverse here. Boom. 91, come down to 84, and we can handle that. And there's plenty of shorter-term entries on that one, and that's good. And PCG started to tank real hard today here, too. That was nice. There's some entries for that, but really got to stay on that stuff. So there's a few things that we'll do, and I do make a weekend video that's available here at T3 if you want it, about what's our plan of attack. And every morning it's going to be the gappers because we certainly want to find volatility. Another thing we can do is use the monthly charts to see who's at least moving this month. And so if we go to something like a BlackRock, what you'd look for here is look for anything that's open near the lows and just keeps going, right? So it tells us that at least there's some momentum, and if that continues, we can try and continue to trade momentum. Sherwin-Williams doing all right here. You can see it open 360, 385, all that kind of stuff like that. And to be fair on Sherwin-Williams, you do have a gap and then doesn't do much, right? But in general, this thing is moving higher so far, and we can look for those continuation patterns. And then on the downside, you've had your Walgreens and your CVS getting knocked down. Those have been pretty nice. And then in the Dow, your McDonald's, Cat, certainly the Walmart, and to a certain extent Dollar Tree in the retail. But that's the kind of thing we want to look for, and then we'll look for any of the signals that are coming up. You also had General Motors is on the move. You got NVIDIA still going. So that's how we're going to track some of the momentum, and then certainly waiting on those gappers. And so another thing that's good is that we got some earnings starting to come through. We've got Netflix earnings on Monday. We've got Goldman Sachs next week. So I got Netflix here, and you always want to get a little leery when going straight into new highs right, on earnings, but we'll see. We got Goldman Sachs earnings coming out, UNH in the Dow, ISRG always can be a mover. Schlumberger comes out later. We'll see what that can do. Another thing, Tesla. Always watch the Tesla because that's where we can find the volatility. So in Tesla, now we've got the inside day, inside week. So it has consolidated, and it's trying to dry up like everything else, but certainly going to watch that weekly break in Tesla. And another good thing that I've talked about since I've been here, when you have this low volatility and the market's just drifting and doing nothing, who hates that? VXX hates that. And so there's just your continued dripping puke. It hates it because most people are misconstrued that this is trying to track the VIX and that the VIX is the opposite of the market. That's not true. What this is tracking is the contango of the VIX options, and they are heavily in contango. As long as that lasts and there's no blip in any type of volatility, you're going to continue to see this thing hit new lows and new lows. So, like I said, volatility, we got to find it, and we got to go where it is, and that's when we're going to hit that gapper list. We're going to hit these earnings, and until we can get some sort of shake them up here, that's just how it's going to have to be, because otherwise you're just going to get nickel and dime to death if you're trying to trade stuff that's not moving. All right, that's going to do it for this week. Hope everybody had a great week and has an even better great weekend. I'm Rob Smith in the Black Quant Edge VTF here at T3 Live with this week's market wrap-up.